you guys? We are back live. I hope the sound is good. Give me a second. We are back live. All right, is the sound good? Give me a second. I want to make sure the sound is good. We are back live. Can you all hear me? Hold up. 1 second. Can y'all hear me? All right, we good. We good. We good. Okay, we are live. Okay, we are live. Make sure y'all share this live and thumbs up. I had to go get me something to eat. And I had got me some chicken nuggets and some fries from Chick-fil-A and a milkshake. I had to really, because I was hungry, y'all. I was really, really hungry. I had to go get me some food. I couldn't do it. My stomach was growling. And I really had to go out and get me some food, like for real, for real. Okay? Really, really real. Okay. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Okay? I want to give a special shout out to y'all that is here. We got a lot to talk about. Yet again, because I always plan to do like one topic, and I always get into something else. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull this up, because we got to talk about Mary J. Blige. Put our picture up, please. So, wow, this is something. I don't know if she's going to be canceled for this or not, but they are accusing her. She had been accused of doing statutory artwork to a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old. So this guy, let me see if I can pull it up, and so y'all can hear him saying this, okay? Bear with me, you guys. So this is something. Let me see. Is this it right here? Okay. A former producer accuses Mary J. Blige of statutory rape. He said, I was 15 to 16 years old. She was flying me in to see her. Okay. I wanted to play the audio of him speaking. Give me a second. Do I have that? Gosh. What did they post to say? Was this on site? Gosh, I wanted to play it. Hold up, you guys. Was this on site or whatever? I want to see. I want to play. Okay, here we go. This is it.
And she laying on the couch, and I'm sitting on the other end, and she laid down on the couch and put her head in my lap. I'm like, damn. He can't be talking about Mary. Was talking about she wanted me to come back up here, and now she on my lap. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, what is this gonna end up to? And she stayed a couple more hours. And we decided to go in the other room because it was a suite. We went in another room and laid down. And she laid down with me, and she kind of like backed up against me, and every time she backed up against me, I would move away and shit, you know? And from that time, I had an opportunity to go out to New York and visit her a couple more times. But, you know, that's why I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt saying that Mary was pot girl. Because at that time, she was my girl. At that time, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young and shit, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me. I'm hard as goddamn. She's backing up against me. This Mary J. Blige. And quite naturally, I mean, you know, I don't even know if you're supposed to say you had sex with people on camera. Anyway, whatever. I'm not quite sure, but
relations.
Yeah, we had relations. That's a good way. That's a good way to put it out. And I said it in the book, and I was, you know, I was saying it because it was my Instagram moment. I should say before Instagram came out, or that was my moment. That was my social media moment to be able to say that in the book. Because had it been cameras or something around, or being able to make a post, I probably would have tried to make it something very serious with her, especially after being there more than 5 times.
And you kept in contact with Mary J. Blige after that, right?
I did, for sure. For sure. She would fly me in sometimes, and I'd fly down to see her.
All right, now I saw
OMG. Wow. So y'all heard that. And I really want to say this. Clearly, what he was describing was statutory rape. You know, that's clearly what he's describing. And if that is true, then Mary J. Blige definitely needs to be canceled because that culture is definitely wrong. But I don't think people will be calling for her to be canceled because she's a woman and that man was a young man. This is not uncommon. I had a friend in the church. He was 15 or 16, and a 29-year-old. He had sex with a 29-year-old woman in the church, and she got pregnant with twins. And I could just remember saying, I'm like, that's statutory rape? And so, of course, my uncle, he pushed it under the rug. He was like, don't press charges. She got kids. But that's wrong. That's no different if a man is 28 or 29 years old and sleeping with a 15 and 6-year-old. It's wrong. And it's wrong when a woman do it at that age. And I don't know if this is true or not. Mary J. Blige definitely needs to respond to the allegations. She have not made a post about it. This person that made these accusations, some people is calling him a failed singer, that he's only doing this for clout, that he's lying. And I'm like, well, is these the same people that were saying that Charlamagne needs to be canceled? So I don't understand why you're not going to believe this guy, Danny Boy, alleged that he had sex with Mary J at 15 or 16 years old. He was violated. If that happened and she's an adult, he was violated. And she was flying him out, and she was 24 years old. That's a violation right there. That was an adult having relations with a minor. So with that being said, it was a quote. He says, she's lying on the couch and I'm sitting on the other end, and she laid down on the couch and put her head in my lap, he said. He goes on to say that after that, she allegedly flew him out to visit her in New York more than 5 times and basically admits that they had sex. The ex-singer also claimed that he didn't realize that he was sharing her with Tupac. That's why I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt Cobain saying that Mary was pot girl, because at that time she was my girl. At the time, I'm 15 to 16 years old. She fly me in to see her, and that is, I'm telling y'all, is wrong if she did it. And of course, I do think she need to answer this. And since we're doing this cancel culture, hey, should she be canceled? And a lot of people say they believe him, and I'm like, I tend to believe him too a little bit. You know, he sounds very convincing. I tend to believe him as well. He sounds very convincing to me. I was reading the comments, and let me read a couple of the comments. Shout out to On Site, because they broke it down. They actually played the audio of him saying this, of him doing an actual interview, and they got like almost 200,000 views on Site. This is a person that said this, and I want to quote this viewer. They said, so people skipping over the part about being a 15 and 16-year-old child getting flown into New York to sleep with a grown woman. Y'all in these comments talking about men talking too much. Oh, child. That's a great point. It's a great point, because people are just really looking over the fact of that. Here we go. It's another person commented and said this. I know a lot of men who have experienced this with older women, and they don't think anything was wrong with it, and it's very wrong. Correct. Obviously, this the highlight of his career, since that album went double plastic. Okay, they roasted. Another viewer said, what was the reason? I can't stand when these clowns running their mouth. Somebody said that. They said, oh, he looks older than her. He sure ain't talking about our Mary J. Blige. Of course, that's doubt right there. Okay. Somebody said, now listen, don't be bringing Mary into all of this old exposure foolishness. What is else in here? All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. No, don't do that, because if it was anybody else, y'all would have dragged him. That's still sick. Y'all gonna come for this man and say he's talking too much or he's lying. But if a female, y'all stand totally behind her. Keep the same energy. And I believe that. Don't give her a pass because she a woman. All these people that was coming at Charlemagne the God saying that this man need to be canceled, he did it. He need to be canceled. Don't turn around with Mary J. Blige and be like, oh no, why are you talking to me? Leave her alone. Not our Mary J. Because she's a woman. Let's not act like it ain't women out here that violate minors. Let's not act like women don't go around sleeping with that is some women out here that actually slept with teenagers. So let's not act like that don't go on. It is not just some men out here violating people that shouldn't be violating. It's women that does it as well. So is Mary J. Blige guilty? You come to it. I tend to believe this guy. I don't think he would just up and just lie like this. I think that he's bragging about it, and I think to him, it was cool sleeping with Mary J. Oh, that was my girl and all that, but not knowing, I don't think he's aware that he was a victim and that he was preyed upon a grown woman, and she just happened to be Mary J. Blige. And these are his words, not my words that of saying that someone put their head in my lap and you were 15 to 16. He said he was 15 to 16 years old, and what makes it worse that she flew him out and continue to have this relationship. My question is, as always, I ask, where were the parents? Where were your mom and your dad? You're 15 and 16 years old smashing an adult, and an adult is actually flying you out across country, and you eating some poom poom at 15 and 16 years old over grown women. Where was the authorities? Where was the adults in this? So, yeah, that is really something. Let me see. I'm gonna take a poll really quickly. Press 1 if you all believe in this situation. Give me a second. Press 1 if y'all believe that Mary J is guilty. Press 2 if y'all believe that Mary J is innocent. Press 1 if y'all believe that Mary J is guilty. Press 2 if y'all believe that Mary J is innocent. Let's get into this. Hold up. Since we talking about it, and it just so happened that I'm going to break down the Charlemagne the God story, and before I was able to do that, I ran and crossed upon minding my own business, and I see this man up there explaining that he was touched and had a sex relationship with Mary J. Blige. Wow. I didn't see it. He said it. Okay? I don't know if I don't think he went to the police. Why would he? To him, he were cool. Sleeping with a woman at an early age. So I'm hearing that. So here we go. I just want to see where y'all headspace at. Give me a second. Somebody said no comment. No. You can't do no comment. Do you believe that she innocent or guilty? Everybody here has something to say about Charlamagne the God. Okay? Now ain't enough info. See that? When I was saying, oh, Wiley, you shouldn't be saying all that. Stand there with the victims. You out there victim shaming. Now that this black man that said when he was 15 and 16, he was violated. He didn't say violated. I'm saying he was violated because she was an adult. It's illegal for a grown woman to be 20-some years old sleeping with a 15 or 16-year-old child. It is illegal, and it's wrong, and it's illegal. All right. I just had to say that. Let me eat one of my gummies. Hold up. Let me eat one of my gummies. They don't like this type of teaching. You see all the people that was coming up, they ain't got nothing to say. Crickets. Because they love Mary J. Blige. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, she can't do that. No, okay, it's impossible. Let me eat my goldy gummy. Let me eat my goldy gummies. All right. All right, so let's go on to the other thing. And so we will definitely keep you all updated on this Mary J. Blige situation to see if she's going to make a statement about it. But yeah, I don't know if she's going to be canceled. Would I stop listening to her music? No, because I don't stop listening to R. Kelly music because she did it. I'm still a fan of her music. Now, she could be a trifling woman to sleep with a 15 and 16-year-old if she did it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey. Let's move on. So I had the pleasure of watching all of the producers across the country were DMing me, and they were DMing me. Everybody was on the phone call, and one of the common denominator that people were saying, Wiley, did you see the documentary? It was no DNA. And I was like, okay, what are they talking about? It was a documentary. You need to see the documentary. So I was getting so many DMs, so many personal phone calls from people across the country talking about this Jessica Reid story. And of course, I did not see the documentary, right, during that time. So I'm literally sitting down, then I finally get the video of this documentary. It was like a 41-minute video of Jessica Reid, and it was produced with she was executive producer, Jessica Reid, and her mom. So I want to talk about this documentary, okay? And then I will let you all give y'all thoughts about it for people that did not see the documentary. People that do not know, Jessica Reid have been on, she have accused Charlemagne the God of raping her at the age when she was 15 years old. Now, with this situation, it was not Jessica Reid that was speaking about her being raped at the age of 15. It was actually she had a friend that she attended this party with that collaborate her story. So I'm going to break this down. So the documentary opens up, pretty much the mother is talking, and the mother was like, all these years my daughter have to deal with being raped and Charlamagne molested her. The mother claimed that he came to her house and then he turned around and he raped and drugged her. Like 17 later, he joked and laughed about it. So she confirmed that Charlamagne came to her house to meet her. And he negotiated a plea deal and got a lesser charge because my daughter wasn't there, and the mother agreed that she did not want her daughter to cooperate with the authorities. So he got a plea deal where he negotiated a lesser charge, delinquency of a minor or something of that nature, because the victim did not collaborate with the authorities, right? She didn't testify. She didn't collaborate. Her mom did not want her to testify. But Jessica said, I was ready to testify. I wanted to testify. But again, she said she did not allow her mother did not allow her to testify. So the mother said this. She said, DNA did not clear him. Justice needs to be served. She said, it was no DNA test ever taken. DNA did not clear her at all. It was no DNA. So DNA did not clear him. So that was one of the rumors that was going on. And I echoed that on my channel. So I stand corrected. DNA, according to Jessica Reid's mother, DNA did not clear Charlemagne the God. That wasn't the reason. The reason why he pretty much got off is because Jessica Reid, with the blessings of her mother, did not want her to testify. And so she did not testify because her mother told her, I didn't want my daughter to go through that. She regretted to this day, and she broke down in tears. You really can tell that her mother is kind of guilty and kind of blame herself, because she was one of the ones that said, hey, I don't want my daughter to testify and all of that. And so that's pretty much how Charlemagne the God got away with a rape charge. Jessica Reid during that time was 32 years old, and she said she moved from New York when she was younger. And in June of 2001, she met Charlamagne through a mutual friend, Rico. They said Rico and her was hanging out, and they went to the radio station that Charlamagne used to work with. They went in front of the radio station. Of course, it shut down of that location. It was Z93 radio station. And she said Rico and Charlamagne was talking about music. And then she said the next day from that exchange, that Charlamagne called her, and she said she don't know how did Charlamagne got her number, but she said she think Rico gave Charlamagne the number, gave Jessica number to Charlamagne. She was 15 years old, and he said he was 20 years old, according to Jessica Reid, but in reality, he was 22 years old. They went to their Tree Haven apartments. That's where back in June of 2001, that is the apartments that Jessica Reid lived at, was the Tree Haven apartments. In the documentary, they actually went to the Tree Haven apartments. And he was a grown man, went to her mother's house and said, hey, I want to hang out with Jessica. And the mother allowed, and according to the mother, because one of the questions was going to, why would you let your daughter go with a grown man? She said she did not know he was 22 years old. She assumed that he was in high school, but even in high school, she didn't know that he was an adult. She didn't know that he was a grown man. She would know, but she thought he was in high school. Even if she was in high school, still you wouldn't let you. Anyway, she said that they went, Jessica and her friend, Jessica and Charlamagne and his friend, I think they went to a Chinese buffet. And he was pretty much telling the mom, she said, I could be trusted. She's safe with me. This is my little sister and all of that. And the second time, according to Jessica, that Charlamagne came to her house is she wasn't there, but her brother answered the door. And and then Charlamagne called her and invited her to a beach party, said it was his birthday. Said, you need to come and all of this. And Malika Joyner, I think Malika is her name. Her first name is Malika. She went to the party with Jessica Reid, right? He talked her into going to this party. Charlamagne talked to Jessica to go in the party, and she invited Malika to go. And she also said in the documentary that she went to his father's house, that she linked up with Charlamagne at his father's house, right? And it was nothing suspicious. They went to the Villa short stay. Derek Major, and then she was like, when she went to this place, you had to have a military ID. Then she said that 2 females were there at this party, and the rest were like guys. Of course, she went with her friend, and Malika was there, was one of the friends that went there. She said this. I want you all to listen very closely if you did not watch the documentary. She alleged that Charlemagne the God, right, pressured her to take a drink. Like, come on, take a drink and all of this. Now, mind you, Charlamagne is 22 years old and pressuring a 15-year-old minor to take a drink, and her friend. So her friend takes the drink, and pretty much what the friend said, Malika, which she was, because the documentary went to the Star Report, Malika said she started to feel ill. She started to vomit. And so Jessica was helping her friend out. She's feeling weird. Then he pressured. Jessica was like, I didn't want to take the drink, but he kept pressuring me, so I just took the drink. And she said, I instantly started to feel ill. I started to feel dizzy. I couldn't hardly walk. So I went upstairs I had to go use the restroom. So she was like, why she went upstairs, Charlamagne friends or his cousin or some of that nature or his associates had potentially went and touched her inappropriately, forced themselves on her. And she said that Malika on the Star Report, Malika said she saw when she went upstairs, her friend went upstairs, and she said she still can kind of see what was going on, even though she was in and out. She wasn't all the way out. She can tell that so was wrong. They kept trying to go on to her dress and all that, but she said she did see when Jessica went upstairs, and she said Jessica was upstairs for a long time. Jessica said that she said a Larry, and then she said another guy, I can't think of his name. They put their fingers in her private area. Her friend was downstairs. They said Larry, they said Larry, I believe they talking about Charlamagne, came in the bedroom, rubbed his private area on her body, and she said, I remember I saw his face. She's talking about Charlamagne's face, and I heard his voice. She's talking about Charlamagne's voice, and he was raping me. And he said, and this is a quote of what Jessica alleged that Charlamagne said to her. He said this to her. He said, I told you I would take care of you. Nothing would happen to you. And he was kissing on her and all of that. And she was crying. She was talking about it. And he was trying to calm her down, shush. And and then Jessica said that Charlamagne performed oral sex on her. And she said he was heavy. And Malika was talking about she was downstairs throwing up. And then she said, Malika said, I went upstairs and I went in the room. I opened up the door and I saw that Charlamagne was on top of Jessica. And you could just tell that Jessica was crying. She was upset. And Malika said he pulled up his pants and he went outside the room. And then she kept asking, and then Jessica, no. Yeah, Jessica was like, where's my clothes? She was crying. She was upset. Where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? Then she said Charlamagne told her to shut the F up. You doing too much. She started screaming, and then everybody left. And then they went outside, and someone called the police, and then they called, I believe Malika called her brother, which Jessica's brother, and she called Jessica's mother. And they took her to Somerville Medical Center, and she was screaming. She was upset. She was like traumatized and all of this. And so the mom comes to the hospital. I'm not understanding if it was a rape kit was done. I didn't get that from the documentary. But the thing about it is, what they were talking about is that, Jessica was saying, listen, I try to tell my story and nobody is really trying to hear me. The only time they really talked about is when Charlamagne the God brought it up. And you could just really tell that she was crying and she was upset. You can tell that it's just trauma. I sense that, okay, this is not an act. This is not something that she's making up. You really can tell that she was just traumatized because you could just tell from her demeanor, and I just felt her pain. Now, mind you, when I recently did a video, I did not watch this documentary, right? I didn't even know the documentary really exists. And if it did, I didn't watch it, right? Until maybe a couple of hours ago after I did the live, I watched it. And I was sitting down, I was like, wow. And I could just tell her family, the trauma in her family. And then I looked at her mother and I said the guilt of her mother, because really the reason why Charlamagne is not in prison or on the sex offender list is because the mother did not press charges and then not allow her daughter to cooperate with authorities. So if that would have happened, if she can just go back to that moment, I think Charlamagne will not be where he's at today. So when I was looking at her, I was like, instantly I started to tear up, because I'm like, she is really like traumatized. And she said she'd been in and out of therapy and counseling, and she said, I see him on television, I hear him on the radio, and sometimes you got to put yourself in the victim's shoes, like, right? And I started to put myself in her shoes, like, if I'm violated by somebody and I see them on television and I hear them on the radio, that can really instantly just trigger you right then and there. It can instantly trigger you. So I'm just really looking at it, and the sad part, and what I was looking at, and I'm like, how can she get justice, right? He's not going to go to prison, right? Because it's done. They tried. They went to the sheriff's office. It just can't happen. They talked to the DA. It can't happen for that. What I think for some type of justice in this particular case, it needs to be some monetary justice. And when I say that, even when you're dealing with police killings in a family, the main thing that they get, if they can't get you thrown in jail, they go to the city, they go to the state, and they get millions of dollars, right? I think in this particular case, for she could get some type of closure and some type of justice, I think that they need to sue Charlamagne the God in civil court. I don't know if the statute of limitation have passed. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I think that's one of the ways of her getting some type of closure. You would never get over it because he's still walking around free, but they need to sue him and Z93 if they still exist, because that's an employee of this radio station having this party and using his clout off this radio station, and yet having this party and a minor was violated and raped. I do believe, and I don't know why they never sued for monetary gain. That's going to be something embarrassing, and that can probably make him lose his positions and his endorsements with what he have today. So I'm praying that Jessica get healing. And one thing I can do, I did a major mistake. I did not watch the documentary before I made statements, and I'm not to the point where I can't say, oh, dang, I should have watched the documentary. And I wish I would have watched it before I make the statements that I made, because I kept saying there's no collaborating witnesses. Well, it is actually a collaborating witness. It's Malika. Malika was there. It was her friend was there. She's collaborating the things that Jessica was saying. She called into Star Show, and then Jessica said what she said. So they both collaborating this story. You have a witness that was there to collaborate in the story. You have the mother that was there to collaborate the story. I never heard the brother say anything, so I didn't hear the brother on the documentary, but I'm assuming that he will collaborate the same story. But unfortunately, due to the law, the reason why Charlamagne the God is not arrested and charged in prison or in the sex offender list like Nicki Minaj's husband is because the mother failed her daughter, and to what she want. And when I say she failed her daughter probably twice. Number one, she failed her daughter because you allow a man in your home and you agree and listen to this man, and she should have been more strict and say, no man ain't dealing with my daughter. No, she ain't going to no party. No, she ain't going to this. And she entrusted a snake, a predator in her home. That was the first mistake the mother made. The second mistake she made is when all of this happened, she did not want her daughter to go through what she went through. So I just feel like with that, and I know her mother is yet dealing with that, because I'm not the first person to say that the mother made a mistake. She probably hear that a lot, probably even from Jessica herself, probably from the brother, probably from different family members, probably telling her, you crazy, you should have, why you ain't let your daughter testify? You the reason why so it's just so much. So the main thing that we can do now is to just pray for Jessica. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you can do, and to rally behind the troops and Me Too, Time's Up. I'm shocked, and I'm very shocked and surprised. Me Too and Time's Up have not canceled Charlamagne the God. I'm shocked. It surprises me. They're really silent. And one thing about Me Too, it's about we're all about the victims. That been abused. Come to us. It's about Me Too, Time's Up. They have not came out with a statement. They have not said they was investigating. They have not done any of those things. They have not put her on a Twitter account. I checked these different people's Twitter account. They have not made a statement from all the way back from 2018. Nothing. Absolutely zilch. Unfortunately, it's just really sad. You would think that they would come out with some things like that. That it took a guy, Joke No Jokes, what is his name, that came out, that went to Monk's Corner and actually interviewed this woman. Give me a second. Hold on one second. What was his name? Maybe y'all can comment in the chat. He actually did more work than CNN, than Me Too, than Time's Up, than any of these other people. Because it was the guy that actually went to her hometown. Who was that went to her home? Give me a second. Y'all post it in the comments, and I'm going to definitely see the comments. Give me a second, because the documentary is up there. I mean, it is up there. And give me a second. I want to give a shout out to the person that actually recorded this and actually put it up there. Give me a second. Choke No Joke. Thank you. Choke No Joke. Thank you. So he did a better job than everybody because he actually went down there and talked with Jessica. Shout out to the Star Report, but nobody from mainstream media. Tamron Hall. Nobody. She haven't said anything about it. Ellen haven't not said anything about Oprah, haven't said anything about it. And I really look at her strange because Oprah actually interviewed the two men that said they were molested by Michael Jackson. And she, the guy actually testified and said Michael Jackson didn't do it, but she still interviewed these two guys. So why have not Oprah interviewed Jessica Reid and brought her on to tell her story? So a lot of people have failed Jessica, and it's really sad, And I kind of failed her too, because the reason why I have failed her because I didn't believe her. I didn't. But once you get more information, I'm only human. Once I was able to process the documentary, I'm like, oh my gosh, she did something, right? He did something. Even just your friends, and this is another thing, that he wasn't the only one that violated her that I got from the documentary. It was his friends that violated him. And my thing is this: why can't the friends be charged? See, this is something where I'm not understanding Monk's Corner, and I'm not understanding their justice system. Because it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just Charlamagne. Charlamagne is the known person. He's a celebrity. But it was other men that was there that have violated her at that party. They should be charged. Have statute of limitation have passed for them? They should be charged. And that could be a way of actually them naming Charlemagne the God and saying, hey, he did it too and all that. So, and that could just open up the door for a civil suit. I'm not a lawyer. But my thing is this: it wasn't just Charlemagne. It was other men. According to Jessica Reid, it wasn't just him. It was other friends. So they're not exempt of getting arrested. So I'm not understanding, like, we're just focusing on Charlemagne. But what about the other guys that did it too? I'm just saying. What's the other guy's name? So I just think that it's a very good point. And I got that when I was watching the documentary. I said, it's just not Charlemagne. It was other people there that have violated before he even touched her. It was other guys that violated her. So they need to be charged. So what Jessica Reid needs, she need people in her corner that can do it. I don't have the power. Only thing I can say is write a letter, say, what about these other guys that violated her? Why they have not been charged? You know what I'm saying? And yes, throw them all in a slammer. I remember I watched a movie, and it was a lady. She got violated on a ping-pong machine, and the guys. So the lawyer, the prosecutor, wanted to go after the man that was rooting it on, just stood there and didn't do anything, didn't intervene. So she actually charged the men that was rooting it on, standing around, didn't intervene, they actually got charged. So I'm looking like, why can't the prosecutor charge these other guys? And she named some of their names. So it's really sad. I hope, my prayer is I hope she get justice. I hope that she get justice and she deserve it, right? Anybody that get touched or violated deserve to get deserve to get closure, deserve to get justice. The person that violate them deserve to be locked up, right? That need to happen. The Accused, right? I remember that movie, The Accused. Thank you. So I'm not a lawyer. So if you're a lawyer, call in. Is the statute of limitations have passed or the other guys? I know Charlamagne took a plea deal. I know that's probably in for that. What about the other guys? I'm not a lawyer. If we have any lawyers in the house, can the prosecutor charge the other guys that violated Jessica Reid? Judy Foster, The Accused. Thank you. That was the name of that movie. I remember watching that. Okay. And I understand y'all were saying that earlier, but I didn't see the documentary. So I was like, it's no collaboration. She could just be making this up. But when I heard the friend, and when I heard Jessica, and when I heard Jessica's mother, I'm like, whoa, Charlamagne, bruh. Wow. This is really sad. You know, it's really, really sad. But I'm looking at the other guys. What's their name? Say their name to him and really come after them. There is no statute of limitations South Carolina. Well, them other guys need to be charged. And have them to name Charlemagne the God. Because they're going to name him. Because they're going to be like, listen, I didn't do that. He did it. Charlamagne did it. And that will open up the floodgates of the conversation of them to be canceled. And the thing about it is with Angela Rye and with all Tamika Mallory, they have the resources, right? I'm just a YouTuber. I sit on my platform. I bring enough awareness. But those two women, they have more resources than I have. So why didn't they not send out investigators? And see, this is the problem when you are so-called a activist and you are in bed with people. When you start getting checks to these people, you ain't gonna speak up because you don't want that book deal to go away. You don't want that check to go away. But I'll give them the side eye. I give them the side eye because they got the resources. Tamika Mallory got a lot of resources, as well as Angela Rye got a lot of resources. And so I give them the ultimate side eye. With this cross side, baby, I give them the side eye. And ever since then, like when I heard that I think Tamika Riley said, this is my friend. When I heard that, she's going to eat them words up. I think Tamika Riley, I think that going to be the end of your career. If you continue to stand with Charlamagne and not speak up, your career going to be ended. And I could just see that happening because I get already she's getting the side eye how she even Tamir Rice's mother called her out, but I give her the side up for that. Make sure y'all like the video. We're going to open up these phone lines again, and we're going to allow the people to call in. I know it may be a lot of callers, so we want to not be as lengthy. All that. So give me a second. We're going to open up these phone lines again. So give me 1 second while I get these phone lines open up. If we can get some more likes, click the like button. Please, thank you so very much. Shout out to the producers in the house. If we get some more likes really quickly, thank you. Oh, excuse me. Let me go to these phone lines. Let me get these phone lines together. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get these phone lines together. So, yeah, I watched the documentary and it's sad. It's really sad because it was really sad. It could have been a little better produced, but the way they did the best they could. They went to one thing about that documentary, they went to the location of where it happened. They went to the location of the apartment that Jessica Reid's mother stayed. They went to the location of the sheriff's department. They went to the location of the hospital. So you get the point. And it wasn't long-winded. It wasn't all that. It was all that. They need to do an updated version of that podcast, that documentary, and they need to be calling out Tamika Mallory. They need to be calling out Angela Rye. They need to be calling out Angela Yee. They need to be calling out iHeart. It needs to be an updated one with some people that say, more people in that documentary. But this point is really good. It's really, I'm telling you, it will make you tear up, honestly. If you had doubts, you won't have doubts as you see that documentary. That documentary was powerful. It really was. Give me a second, you guys. I'm going to open up these phone lines. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open the phone lines, and I'm going to put the number on the screen as well. It's 6. I'm going to pin the number really quickly. Choke was on a budget. He did good. Yeah, he did good for what he had. Yeah. And I think somebody asked a question, and I was asking this question before the documentary. Why do a documentary
Your show
and don't press charges?
Start in 30
the documentary
seconds.
came out years later after 2001. 2001, I was actually 11 years old. So that documentary came out years later, right? So I just think the mother is guilty. You know, the mother is feeling guilty. And when I say she's guilty at a point, and that she feel that guilt, right? And
Your
I
show
really
will go
think
live
she
in
regret
5
that.
seconds.
And
4,
that is like probably
3,
a strain on her relationship
2,
with Jessica. And I think it's a
1.
strain on that family. Can you imagine
Love
what that
Talk
mother is going? Can you
Radio.
imagine what Jessica going through? And then the mother did not press charges and see it through. It's just all the way around sad. They said, let's just go over Charlamagne house like the Brady protester went to AG house or the Kentucky house for Breonna. Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. One of his cousins was one of the guys. Okay. All right. So let's go to the phone lines. Okay. All right. 646-716-8447. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Wiley. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
I'm calling to get my.
Can you speak up in the phone?
To get my thing.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, can you speak up in the phone? I want to hear you clear. I can hear you better. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Charlamagne needs to be canceled. You know, this has been going on long enough, and it's time to get him out of here. Tamika and the leaders of the Black Lives Matter, you know, I'm happy these parents are finally, you know, calling them out, because years this has been going on since Trayvon Martin was the first kid. So, you know, they haven't done nothing, you know, to help these families and these parents. So they need to be investigated. And I feel like, as you know, these entertainers that want to be our leaders, we as the people need to understand that these are they're just, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah. Like, they're just regular people, you know, so we need to do background checks on these people before we put them on this pedestal to represent us. Charlamagne has been in the game for 20 years, 10 years now. So, you know, this has been out for a long time. And let me tell you something. Back then in South Carolina, you know, the laws, I think the laws have changed now. So, I mean, I think that case is probably not going to get open. But if we can go back and lock R. Kelly up and Bill Cosby, then Charlamagne should be, you know, held accountable for his actions. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the fact that he sit here on the radio and scream mental health, and this woman has to listen to this man every morning on the radio, she's probably traumatized. So, you know, I just blame us as people, because, you know, we idolize these celebrities, and we really do not, sit back and realize that these are regular people that have had a life before the celebrity. So we just cannot, you know, just go ahead and have them represent us in certain things. But, you know, I feel sorry for the young woman. And I'm happy that Kwame Brown has, kind of brought this back, you know, in the media light, because, you know, what Charlamagne did last week to him was very disgusting. Like I said, no leader should ever do that, you know, to our people. Quote, you know, they like to say our people, I'm for the people. And they're not for the people. They're not for us. I mean, just because you get a network and you hire a couple of black employees does not make you, for the people, because the white people do the same thing. So, I just think it's very, very sad. And I really hope this lady, because I think now this case is getting more attention than it did back then. So I really hope this woman is, getting some kind of help, real mental help, because I can just imagine, her seeing her name all over the internet and, having this story come up again. But I really hope, people listen to her this time. And Charlamagne needs to get up and say something. I mean, I don't know if they're going to fire him I'm pretty sure they're not going to fire him, but we need him to be held accountable and just tell the truth. We respect people who speak up and tell the truth. You tell the truth, then, we can say you have a past and you can be forgiven for your past. But you cannot just go around, saying things and act like nothing didn't happen or that the story just came out of nowhere.
All right.
So, I'm happy that y'all YouTubers, too, are finally reporting on this story, like how it's, giving it the, the light that it should have gotten a long time ago, especially like with these big media blogs and stuff. So I'm happy for that.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. All right, the number is 646-716-8447. We're going to go to the phone lines right here. I think this is 3410. Call you on air.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Wiley. I talked to you earlier. Thank you so much for going and watching the interview and actually seeing it raw. You know what I mean? It's so many victims out here, and it's sad that people don't believe them, although there are people who lie. But this is something that needs to be brought out, and I hope you guys, as bloggers, continue to focus on this type of behavior.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So thank you so much for going and looking at the documentary. And also, just, talking about it and being fair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I hope that the other victims that was in that home that violated, they should be called out. You know what I mean? Because it was other men.
Yes,
it wasn't just Charlamagne.
Yes, I was the one who called you earlier saying that I was, I'm on another line, that I was arrested by, from 5 to 8 years old. So it's serious. It's something that needs to be done. Tamika Mallory and what's the girl on CNN, Rye, they're all friends with Charlamagne. They're all in this, they're keeping him relevant. Anybody that's talking about him, like these radio stations, like everybody's keeping him relevant that's in that circle. So we talking about Oprah. She wouldn't even stand up for what Gail did to Kobe. So let's just keep it a buck out here. They have these groups of people, and they're all in it together. And no one wants to take Jessica's story because they need Charlamagne because he's sort of like in this circle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we can't be real with ourselves, who are we going to be real with? And this is the sad thing about it. And this is why this young lady has not gotten the spotlight she desperately needs, because she doesn't want money. She doesn't want to go to jail. She wants him to say he's sorry. Just to be held accountable for something. He needs to step down. He has children. He has a wife. And by the way, look at the wife. The wife looks exactly like Jessica. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed when you see the wife.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good day. We love your show.
Love you. All right. So the topic is Mary J.
Bye-bye.
Blige, and we also talking about the Jessica Reid story and Charlamagne. So we're talking about that as well. So the number is 646-716-8447. I pinned the number in the chat. So if you all want to call in, that is the number. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yes, Wiley. I just want to call and say that I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad you changed your heart and did the research like you were supposed to the first time. So I appreciate you on that, okay? That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in, sister. I want to give a special shout out to all the producers here that is actually watching this broadcast. 0400, calling on air. 0400 last four. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you live on the air.
Hold on. Let me mute you real quick. I just wanted to say that first on Mary J. Blige, she's like one of my favorites, and like she's really helped me get through a lot in life, and I'm very disheartened. And if that comes to be so, like a lot of people are going to be so disappointed. And as far as Charlemagne the God, I feel like the law has put in this perspective out there that if you take this plea and plead guilty and you don't have to register, that opens up other people to not see people for who they are and to be placed in danger because they don't know who they're around. They can't look it up. They can't find it. When they move, they don't know where they're taking their children. And I just think that's wrong.
I feel you on that. You're right. You're right. And you're so right about it. Oh, I forgot to do the text list. I'm gonna do it now. They're gonna be like, "Dad, why you did the text list all late?" But we're gonna do it now. We got another caller in queue. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey, go ahead. Hey.
I am so glad that you changed your stance. I'm so glad that you took the time out to actually look at the interview and watch the interview. The thing I think about as far as when you were saying why aren't the others charged is if you listen to what Jessica was stating as well as what Charlamagne had stated on that podcast where he said somebody played a joke on him and said that the police had his cousin in custody. So that's what prompted him to go down to the police station. Come to find out it was a lie. And, you know, that's how he made his way down into the police station. So Jessica did not know the guys that were in the room because if you look at her interview, she stated she was very leery about going to the party. She only went because he said it was his birthday. And it was supposed to be other women there, but she said it was a room full of guys. She did not know the guys. She only knew Charlamagne. Charlamagne knows who else was in that room as well as he knows who else sexually assaulted her. That's why he said, oh, she asked, did anybody else, somebody, you know, when he was talking about alluding to putting Spanish fly in somebody's drink and saying, oh, the girl said, oh, I'm glad it was you. She asked me, was it anybody else that had sex with her? And I said, no, but my boys did see her naked. Yeah, a lot of stuff that he said on a podcast versus, you know, stuff like it is either he's trying to talk about her or he's talking about somebody else that he has sexually assaulted that has a lot of similarities to Jessica's story. Now, he said his cousin was supposed to be going to college, which is why he took the charge. This is what Charlamagne is saying. So she doesn't know any of the other guys in the room. It would have to be somebody else that was there that knows the name of those other people that can get those other people that was there that took advantage of her arrested, or Charlamagne himself to come out and identify everybody else that was there that took part in it. So she doesn't know the other individuals to get them prosecuted.
Because if I remember,
so
I thought she named another name. Or do Rico know? She said a guy
he said that that's his cousin, but she doesn't know his name. You understand?
Okay.
Remember, she had just met Charlamagne and he liked her. She didn't like him. Then he tried to come around her family, her mom, you know, told her mom he would protect her. They were just going out to eat. And then next thing you know, he's having a party, asked her mom if it's okay. She said she only went because he said it was her birthday. That's why she asked her friend to come because she didn't feel comfortable going with him by herself.
And one of the
but
friends,
she didn't know.
And what gets me in this entire situation with the investigators is other men that the ball was just dropped for in this investigation because it wasn't just Charlamagne. And it's just unfortunate that we don't know these other guys' name. But you know, wow, that's. So the case can be reopened for the other guys. Just investigate what I'm trying
Yes, and I think that if they open up a case for the other guys, I think it would also pull the case back open to the forefront for Charlamagne also. And then I think also if, people come together and do enough to push the story, because, in the first time when her story came out, the Shade Room did not post her. The only reason why the Shade Room posted anything is because of Kwame. Kwame outing Charlamagne. This is the only reason why she's getting more mainstream media attention. But when this documentary came out about 3 or 4 years ago, no big blogs posted it. Although they looked at it, they watched it, they knew about it, but no big blogs posted it. It's only getting posted now and getting attention and is being talked about is because Charlamagne came at Kwame, and Kwame, has a bigger platform, has a bigger voice, and he was able to put it out there on the forefront.
And then that's what other big bloggers, they responded on it as well. So I hear your point. You're making a great point on that, because they didn't. If I remember, they didn't talk about it when this documentary first came out.
No,
I didn't hear them talk about it.
No. And then where is the whole Me Too movement? The whole Tawana Burke, Tamika Mallory, all of these people that pushed for R. Kelly and Bill Cosby to go to jail. Where are all of these Time's Up people? Where are all these people? Why aren't they protesting in front of the Breakfast Club or, asking the Breakfast Club to cancel Charlamagne like they asked Sony to cancel R. Kelly? Now, Charlamagne, actually, got charges. He pled to something. Where is all of these these cancel culture, these people that push for all of these other Black celebrities to get arrested? Why aren't they here for a real victim? Because in my eyes, Jessica is a real victim. She went to the police immediately after it happened. She reported it. She didn't sit on it for 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. She went immediately. So where are those people? Because we do know that this is something that happened to her. She's not one of those people that came out the woodworks and is accusing somebody and you don't have any evidence. This is somebody that reported it immediately, went to the hospital, did everything except for her mother refused to allow her to testify.
You brought up a good
now,
point.
When,
There's a lot of
So now when you're talking about Mary, right? Let's talk about Mary J. Blige, right? I think when we're talking about a lot of stuff that happened in the 90s, right, we got to look at, we're in 2021. So times is different versus the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, right? People were doing things a little bit differently back then. So back then, you had younger girls dating older guys or younger guys dating older girls, right? It's now in 2021 where that is an issue, where it's looked upon as an issue. You understand? Because I'm certain, people have, their mothers and their fathers have a huge age difference. Their grandparents have a huge age difference. So it's not like as if this is something that is foreign. This is something that we know about. Hugh Hefner had a 13-year-old on the Playboy cover. You understand? Let's talk about P. Diddy. P. Diddy's first baby mama was 15 years old, and P. Diddy was 24 years old. Okay? Let's talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Let's talk about Wanye and Brandy. So we're going to talk about Mary J. Blige having consensual sex with a 15-year-old.
Well, it was not consensual. You can't give consent if you're a minor. See what that does.
You can't.
You can't.
Okay.
So if that was a man, if I was 27 or how old she was, 26 or whatever her age was, and I sleep with a 15 or 16-year-old woman, I'm not gonna get that same pass. Well, it was the 90s. That's what they were doing. You ain't gonna get that same pass.
No. I think you're missing my point. What I'm saying is that when you're comparing the 2000s or the 2021, the year that we're in versus the year that they were in, that was allowed.
No, that was not allowed.
Younger people.
That was illegal. That's not allowed. That's not allowed because.
But
you cannot. What I say is, people give women a pass and they make excuses for women, but a man not gonna get that.
No,
same
I'm
excuse.
not making an excuse. I'm
just
making
talking
an
about
excuse
in general.
for Mary, because here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. I want to say for the people that feel like it was okay for Mary to, first and foremost, let's be clear. You got Boosie on live talking about his son getting his penis sucked.
And that's
by
he
a
should have lost.
grown woman,
He should have lost his
son
shit.
getting his penis
He
sucked.
should have been
Lil
investigated.
Boosie is not canceled.
He-
Okay, hold
I
on.
don't understand
then you have
that.
these rappers. You have these rappers that is talking about, these male rappers is talking about when they was 14 years old, they had sex with grown women. You have these younger guys that's bragging on having sex with older women.
I just think
I'm not
the
saying
piece
that
of
it's
it,
right.
people turn a
What I'm saying is,
I think people turn a blind eye to it because they don't care a lot of time. And still to this day, if a woman, I will tell you this situation, it was a woman in my church that I don't no longer go there. She was 28 or 29 years old. That was the same woman I lost my virginity to, but I was 19 years old, so I was an adult. But she had sex with a 15 or 16-year-old, right? And he impregnated her with twins. And the mother, I would never forget it, said, I want to press charges. She need to go to jail. And my uncle, which is a bishop, said, no, she got children. But that's statutory rape. And see, people don't want to talk about that, but it is what it is. Rape is rape. Whether it's consensual or whether it's you put a knife on somebody or whether they're 15 or 16 years old. Because the law say you're not of age to give consent.
okay, and I agree with you, but guess what? The law is jacked up because in 38 states, 16 is legal. 16 is the legal age to consent to have sex with somebody that's 20, 25, 30. 16, go and Google it. The law
But you
is
can't
jacked
use
up.
that
We're
if you're
talking about
in
the
a
United States
state
of America.
if you're in a state that can't give consent though. I remember it was a guy. It was a court show I was watching. He told the judge, "Well, weed is legal in this state and that state." He said, "Well, in the state of Mississippi, state of Tennessee, it's illegal, and you need to take. And what you did was wrong. You're going to jail. So you can't use that. That's a good argument to use, but you can't use it. Everybody will be using it. Well, it's legal in California. If you're living in a state that is illegal, you can't do it. I mean, you just can't. You can't do it.
So here's the thing, right? This is what I'm saying. If your mother, right, you're 15-year-old Wiley, you want to marry a 23-year-old, right? You're 24, 25-year-old. If your mother goes to the court and say, I want to emancipate my child, I'm giving my child to go and marry a 23, 24, 25, 20, however year old, and the court say, I approve, right? The court is allowing you to be statutory rape because by your logic, because you're 15, even though the court is giving you consent to go and have sex with a 20-something-year-old person.
What I want to say,
because now we do know that courts do allow people that's under the age of 18 to get legally married to somebody that's older than them.
What I want to say is it's the issue and a problem because if you break the law, if I am a guy up at age 26 and I'm dating a 14 or 15 years old and the family found out and press charges, I can't use that argument. Well, it's legal in this such and such. You can't. You're going to be on the list. I have a friend that dated a guy. He was 19 years old and the minor was 15. The family found out about it. They pressed charges, and now to this day, he have to register on the sex offender list. Homeless, can't get a job, can't get a place. And I'm just trying to tell people. So with your logic, you can't go by your logic. You have to go by the law.
No. I'm not. I don't. Listen. Let me tell you something. I don't have an agreement with an adult having sex with a child. I don't agree to that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm giving you is so many different scenarios where there is not laws that is just straight to the point as far as where it's subjective for everyone. Because if that's the case, then how come 15-year-old? How come 15-year-old girl, Courtney Alex Stoden, that was in the beauty pageant. She used to compete in beauty pageants and she was a singer. Was able to marry 51-year-old Doug Hutchison in 2011. Okay? 2011 in the state of California. She was able to marry this rich white man in 2011. Okay? How come when we're talking about these laws, when I'm telling you these laws are biased and it only equates for certain people depending on your demographics, how come this 15-year-old was able to marry this 51-year-old in 2011?
You're talking about marriage, right? And I get it, and I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is, let's take it out of marriage. If your parent, if your child is dealing with somebody else as an adult, what would you do? If your underage daughter or son is having a relationship with a grown man, what would you do in that situation?
Okay, so let me say this, right? I think it all depends on me whether or not I would agree to that or not. I'm not a person where I agree with that, but I am a person that has seen it. I've seen friends date older guys and their parents allowed it. You understand? So it's not like I haven't seen it. So I'm not oblivious to it because I have seen it.
I'm asking you a question. How would you handle if you're
pregnant by a 20-something-year-old and she was 16? So it's not like I haven't seen it. I have seen it.
For
so
yours, with your child,
that,
how would you handle it? How would you handle if your child was dealing with somebody 50 or 40-some years old and they're 15 or 16 years old? How would you handle it?
My child wouldn't be dealing with nobody.
I'm just asking you if you were in that situation. This is a hypothetical. How would you handle that situation?
But here's the thing, right? My child wouldn't because I wouldn't allow it. These parents are allowing it. Do you understand the difference? The parents is allowing it. So if we want to lock the person that we're calling a predator up, let's lock the parents up too. Me I wouldn't allow it. If I had a child and my child was trying to date, or a 50-year-old was trying to date my child, me as a parent would not allow it. But these parents are allowing it. How do you think Jeffrey Epstein got away with so much? Because these parents was allowing him to have sex with their children.
Right, but
do you understand? When they are locking up the predator, the quote-unquote predator, they need to lock up the parents that is allowing the predator to prey on their kids.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for calling in. This was a topic that we got into. Thank you.
And tell your caller, no, I am not on crack. I'm being realistic, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
and she's telling me to shut up, R. Kelly lover. Yes, I absolutely love R. Kelly. And I'm yelling free R. Kelly until R. Kelly is free.
Okay.
Because, like I stated, this whole setup with R. Kelly, Charlamagne is the one that should be in jail.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. She loves her some R. Kelly. I think she's going to be the only one. Free R. Kelly. She's going to be the only one outside. Make sure y'all like the video. Thank you all so very much. Thank you also the super chats. I want to give a special shout out. Wow, to Laser said this. Give me a second while I bring this up. Do I still have that version of what he said on the super chat? I forgot the message, but pretty much what he said or she said. Thank you for doing your research on the topic. I want to give a special shout out to you. Thank you so much for that super chat. Okay. Also I want you all to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all and like the video. Click that like button. If we get 100 likes, I will be back live yet again for another video. So if we get 100 likes, I come back for another video. Right? Okay. Told y'all. Reading the chat. In the chat. Thank you all so very much. And I want to say shout out to y'all for coming on the show and giving y'all opinion. Oh, we got one more caller. Yes. 1448. I see you in the chat. How you doing?
Hey, Wiley. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. So I'm so glad you're talking about this topic. I'm not going to say a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you something that people are missing. In 2018, Jessica Reid, there was a signed declaration that was released in 2018 that Charlemagne's media team released that basically doesn't share Jessica's name, but it leaves the idea that it's either signed by Jessica changing her statement or another victim. So a couple, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit, there was a couple of people, content creators that had touched on this, and we've been trying to reach out to her to find out if she signed it or are there more victims that might have signed this declaration, because mind you, the same month that this declaration was signed, Jessica also opened up a Twitter page bringing attention to the matter. So the story, Jessica's story is legit. It's just somebody's trying to change her statement.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I hear your point. It's like somebody trying to do a smear campaign to try to change up her statement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, I'm a content creator and I work with another content creator, and I'm, you know, out of respect for you, I'm not going to shout out the channels. I can DM you the information a little bit more, but that's the point that I'm, you know, regular job. I am an investigator. So I looked into it, and the documents are legit. They're signed by an attorney. So something is not making sense. Either Jessica signed them in 2018 on the same month and redacted her story, and I'll email them to you, Wiley, so you can look at them.
Okay.
Or there's another victim with the same story that Jessica has.
Wow.
So it's a weird situation. Yes. But I'm glad that, I mean, I just decided to call. I wasn't sure if I was going to get through. So I'll send you that information.
Yes,
privately on your IG.
Yeah, I will love to see it. Are you an attorney?
I work with a lot of attorneys, and I honestly don't want to say a whole lot.
Okay, but do you?
My channel,
but with this case, it was other people that allegedly violated Jessica as well, not just Charlamagne. Can they open the case back up for the other guys and just say, hey, we're going to try to track down other guys that violated Jessica?
You know, what I read from so I saw some information that she had released, and then I saw some information from the actual hospital paperwork. And it really just depends on her jurisdiction and the county and where she's at, if they're going to pursue it. But he's the only named predator in that paperwork. The best that she could probably do right now is probably just pursue it civilly, either with Charlemagne or whoever else perpetrated on her at that night. And here's the other thing, too, that's really weird. There was a friend that was with her, and I remember the friend had spoken out. I don't know has anybody heard from the friend anymore? I don't know if something was signed by the friend. I'm a little bit concerned about that too.
Well, the friend did an interview. The friend did an interview with. I want to get this correct. She did an interview with the Star Report, and I got into that. But that was a couple of years back. I don't know where the friend is now.
Yes. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. So the friend, I mean, I don't know if she's just like, I don't want to be involved anymore. But what's his name? The Star recently did an interview, 2 weeks ago, and I didn't hear the friend anymore, and so that's why I'm kind of wondering, what else is there where people may sign paperwork, or are there more victims, and we just don't know.
All right. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing those documents. Thank you so much, sister, and we will bring more spotlight to this story because it definitely needs to be discussed. I mean, anytime somebody been victimized, you need the spotlight on this, and it probably will encourage other people that been victimized that need to speak up. And, tell them where it's going to go. I know Whitney Williams' ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, said it's another victim. So we don't know the name. We don't know if it's a man or a woman, but he said it's another victim. So we definitely will keep you all updated. So thank you, sister, for calling in.
For sure. Thank you, Wiley. Have a good one.
All right. Love you. Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hey, Wiley. So I called back because I think people misconstrued what I was saying. I am not in no way, shape, or form a pedophile lover, okay? I wholeheartedly disagree against any man that is preying on any women or any kids or any minors or any teenagers. I do agree that if R. Kelly was canceled, they need to cancel Mary J. Blige. As far as me and my support of R. Kelly, I'm not talking about the whole alleged marriage to Aaliyah. I'm not talking about the whole alleged sex tape that he was vindicated for. I'm only talking about what he's currently being charged with and the women that is in his current case. That is the only reason why I feel like R. Kelly is innocent. It is in no way, shape, or form to rally behind someone that society deems to be a pedophile, okay? So I just wanted to kind of clear that up because I'm all for women. I'm all for, people not being victimized. I'm also for men not being set up and targeted, just like how you stated before and how I've stated Brian Banks, where he was falsely accused and had to spend 6 years of his life in prison, tortured and abused. He lost his scholarship, and this woman was paid out $1.5 million, and there was nothing that was done to her. So I'm for men getting justice as well as women getting justice, but I don't automatically see women just saying, okay, if a woman says something, she's automatically a victim. Or if a woman says a man did something, he's automatically guilty. That is not my stance. I try my best to be fair and unbiased. Okay.
Can I say this? You're not the only one. Go ahead. You're not the only one that said R. Kelly may be innocent. I remember Tasha K said that R. Kelly may be innocent. So you're not the only one that's saying he's innocent. I just want to say that for the record.
Yeah, because remember, Tasha K was heavily involved with Azriel's father. Azriel's father was feeding Tasha K a lot of information, as well as his friend Larry McGee, that is also on YouTube, that is going to jail right now for stealing $1.5 million in care credit from 79 inmates. He's currently facing his own federal charge right now, and he used a lot of the people. He's on YouTube. He's even said that he had people to lie. They had bus drivers. They had people to lie on R. Kelly. So when Tasha K is saying that R. Kelly is possibly innocent, is because she knows that this whole shenanigans that's going on is definitely a setup. And again, if you're not heavily involved in what is going on as far as in the parameters of R. Kelly, then you don't see the ins and outs. You only see surviving R. Kelly and what the public has put out there. But again, in no way, shape, or form am I for any pedophiles, nor am I against anybody that has been victimized. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. My stance on R. Kelly is my stance. If you believe he's guilty, you can believe he's guilty. Trial starts in August, and we will see.
We will see, and I'm definitely going to be reporting on that. And I need you to come on camera. Would you come on camera and talk about it, or you want to stay on the phone line?
Oh, absolutely, of course. Listen, we can talk about it, but again, like I said, Wiley, there's so much information on YouTube. And again, if you're not a part of the R. Kelly sector on YouTube, you would not know. Just like Azriel Clary's father recently came out on YouTube and was saying that the guy that I told you is about to go to jail right now in the feds, he used him because Azriel Clary's father said he did not want his daughter to be in this whole R. Kelly indictment and wanted her to testify. Just like Tasha K exposed where Azriel had did a documentary with her father when R. Kelly was in jail, saying that you knew where I was. I wasn't held hostage. I was living my best life and this and all this other type of stuff. However, you know, she turned back around and said that he made her eat boo-boo, and she got beat with a size 12 shoe. You understand? So it's a lot of, you know, stuff with this. But, again, I'm not going to debate with the people in the chat. I just want you to know that I am not a pedophile lover. I have sisters. I have siblings. I have brothers. I have family. So I love and support both on each side.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. And the trial starts in August for R. Kelly, and we will definitely talk about it and bring coverage to it. Do you know it's going to be in New York or Chicago? Which trial is going first?
It's going to be in New York. His first federal case is in New York. The New York one starts in August, and then the Chicago one starts in September.
All right. Thank you.
So the first week of August 7th. They're having a protest in New York, August 6th and 7th, and I think the 8th is when the trial starts.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, well.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Good. So, my only point in the matter is saying, as a grown woman with a daughter, you cannot call and say, forget the Aaliyah situation, forget the sexual video situation, and then qualify any statement after that. He's where he needs to be, and I am not here to. The parents need to be charged as well. I as a mother would not knowingly send my child to R. Kelly's house. And I think any woman could speak for me. The rumors have been there. things have been said, things have been done. I am just calling because I'm just a bit disturbed by a mother and a woman now saying, forget the Aaliyah situation, forget the sexual video, and wanting to qualify anything else she has to say after that. What do you mean forget it? That was a child. Those were children. So that was
and
my
I can
only
remember
point.
my mother telling me that R. Kelly would go to the school. She remember seeing him at the school at Hyde Park, and he was an adult, and he would go there. So, I mean, people in Chicago have said it, that our loyalty has just been to R. Kelly because of his music. But let's not get to the point that we didn't hear rumors and we didn't say rumors and all that. So, I mean, hey. It is, what adult is at a school and you ain't got no kids to pick up? Like, come on now. Like,
you ain't got no kids to pick up.
What are you there for?
Wasn't a rumor.
And that was a fact. He
right.
went to the school. He was at the Hyde Park. So you would see him with younger girls at the McDonald's in Hyde Park. It's people that have said it. And my mom would say, yeah, he would be at Hyde Park with these young girls. Like, and he's a dirty old man. So they were saying that then, but yet we would still play Step in the Name of Love because he made good music, right? And so Chicago, I don't think will never, ever cancel R. Kelly like that. We will still listen to his music. I was recently in Chicago and R. Kelly was just blasting in our homes. But would I leave him with my niece and nephews? No. Absolutely not. He's disgusting. He no. But I listen to his music. So
exactly. And there's a separation of the both. I just want to make sure that you can't say a grown man that married a child. I don't care with or without permission. You didn't have no business up in nobody's school. Like you said, you don't have any kids up there. Why are you up at the school, a whole grown man, hanging out with children?
Right, doesn't
make any sense.
That's just like me going to a school and I ain't got no kids and you just there. Like, what? Like, who does that? You can't.
Exactly.
That's weird. That is weird.
Exactly.
That is weird.
Exactly.
And I would be strange as a parent. I'm like, what is this adult doing here and you ain't got no kids to pick up?
Exactly. And I don't want to veer off from the situation, but it was a bit triggering to hear a woman sit up there and say that. As a grown woman, how can you? It's mind-boggling.
Okay.
He is a musical genius. Nobody's taking that away from him. But he got some, I don't know the words that I can say, so I will keep my words in order. But he has no business out of school with children. He married a child, and this is not allegedly. And he was caught doing things with a child he had no business doing. So with that being said, I just want to go back to, the topic at hand. But she was a bit triggering, and she sounds stupid. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right. So speaking about Charlamagne, what's your thoughts on Charlamagne and Jessica Reid? What do you have to say about that?
Well, the Charlamagne for one, he's from around about the area I'm from. Charlamagne has been able to get away with a lot because I do feel that he is protected. Anytime you can go on a national show and brag about putting things into a woman's drink, even the woman that you're married to, and boast about it, and almost be proud about it, and no one holds you accountable, who is protecting you? If that's the case, and I don't want to open up a can of worms, but if Bill Cosby is in jail, why is it Charlamagne? I don't see no different in the crime. He did the same thing. You out here drugging people and raping, allegedly. Let me say that. Allegedly. If Bill Cosby, and I'm sure they got less evidence on Bill Cosby than they got on Charlamagne. Bill Cosby never admitted to nothing that I know of that I can remember. Now, if I'm wrong, I don't remember him being on camera bragging about putting stuff in nobody's drink.
But
raping.
But with the Bill Cosby case, his deposition, he said he gave someone some Quaaludes. So I don't know if that's Spanish. I don't know what Quaaludes. I think they discontinued that. But that was one of the things they brought up in this trial. And I think that's a drug. I think Quaaludes was a drug. So
then what's the difference? Because Charlamagne is saying the same thing then.
Right. So I really don't. That's the $1 million question that we're asking. Anything else you want to add?
No, I really appreciate you taking my call. I'm really
Thank
surprised
you.
that you did. Thank you.
I
God
try to
bless
get
you.
all the calls. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, you take care.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we're going to go to the next call. We got 2 callers in Cube, and then we're going to do our close remarks. Anonymous, you're live on air.
Wiley.
Hey.
Okay. So I didn't mean to make this about a topic about R. Kelly. I didn't say forget Aaliyah. Aaliyah's mother said that they didn't get married. Aaliyah said that they didn't get married. So if Aaliyah's mother and Aaliyah's father or the family has not held R. Kelly accountable, who are we to try and hold him accountable for that? If you're talking about the sex tape, the girl that was allegedly the one that's on the sex tape, mother and father testified before a grand jury, as well as the girl that stated that that was not her on the tape. So who are we to say that that's her? If the family has not came forward to try and get justice for that alleged sex tape that says R. Kelly allegedly peed on some girl, a 14-year-old, and they're saying that that's not their daughter, who are we to say that, yes, that is your daughter, and he should be, you need to go back to court about the sex tape. He went to trial for it in 2008. The jury found him not guilty on it. The family stated that was not her on the tape. So, I mean, who are we to keep saying that, okay, yeah, that was a sex tape, but a 14-year-old?
Well,
Where's the victim?
Well, for me, is other cases outside of that. He's being charged for new stuff. He's not being charged for
yes,
earlier.
That's what. Did
He's
you
not,
hear what I said when I called in? I said I was calling about. I feel like he's innocent on the new stuff. The Geronda Pace that had a fake ID saying that she was 18 and went to every single one of his court appearances in 2008, that skipped school and her mother allowed it, and she had a fake ID. Azriel Clary, who got on Gayle King and said her parents told her to lie and say that she was 18. I said the new charges I feel that he's innocent on. I'm not talking about anything prehistorical.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. You said a point. I'm going to bring this last caller up. We want to thank you for calling in. And I think we got one more caller in queue. We got 2 more callers. I'm sorry. 5862, caller, you're on air.
Hi, Wiley. This is me again.
Hi.
Hey, I kind of got caught in the middle, so I didn't know after you watched the documentary, did you change your mind, or do you still feel the same way about Charlamagne?
Right. Well, for me is
I'm gonna rewatch it, but I want the
No. What I said was, listen, she sounded very believable, and it was heartbreaking. I do believe she was violated, and I think Charlamagne. I think the case needs to be back open. Right. It was other men. Then she said Charlamagne did this, and it was some words that was triggering. One piece that was triggering is when the mother said he came to my home and said he was going to take care, he came to my home. This is a grown man, want to be friends with a 15-year-old. So that to me was like triggering.
Like a sister.
Right.
He came 3 times.
That was very suspicious, and that was triggering. I'm like, what in the world? That's just like me going to somebody's house at the age of 30, want to hang out with a 14-year-old. Like, that doesn't.
That's why I was telling you the mother is held accountable as well.
The mother has to be held accountable.
I'm not trying to beat the mother down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to call her weak.
She made some mistakes. Absolutely.
Was,
the mother made some major mistakes, because ain't nowhere in the world.
But let me tell you this, because this is why I really called it. Not to cut you off. But this is Mary again. Okay, now I'm going to tell you like this, on my mama, rest in peace, my daddy, and my life. I have the VHS tape of R. Kelly and that girl, and I am not lying.
Well, I think a lot of people saw
I have
tape.
the VHS. Okay. I have the VHS. That's how long ago it was.
Right. There's a lot of people that had the tape.
Like Sparkle's niece or whoever it was. It might not have been that girl,
they were selling
but
it. They were
definitely
selling
R. Kelly and a young girl.
Okay, they were selling it on here, so they was actually selling the tape back in the day. So, anything else you want to share?
No, I was just trying to
Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna just go back and do the replay,
okay.
And then right, I know you'll do another one, so I'll call you back.
All right, thank you so much for calling in. Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so 0209, and then we're going to 0209, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley, please, don't torture us no more with that girl calling back trying to explain R. Kelly and his crap. He's guilty. That tape the woman just talked about, the VHS tape, they was playing it and selling it out on the street corners and running it through the barbershop. It was Sparkle's niece, done deal. He's guilty. Bill Cosby admitted that he was drugging women. That's why they ended up convicting him from something that he admitted a long time ago in a closed case where he was paying off his victims. Guilty. Let's stop playing. This young girl here in Charlemagne the God, it was horrible to watch that video. The mother, I don't know what mind state the mother was in to even think that it was okay for her daughter to hang out with some man that was 20-something years old, and for her to say she didn't know how old he was and thought that he might have been in school. Another question you have to say is, why weren't you asking questions? Who are you and where did you come from, and why are you trying to hang out with my daughter? However, there is no rule book when it comes to being a parent and being a mom, and sometimes things happen and they slip through, and you look back on it later and say, I should have paid more attention to these things. But she should file a case against him civilly and then see if that can turn into a criminal case, because if he already pleaded down for something else, he was guilty. That's already telling you that he was there. So something ain't right. That's all I have to say, Wiley. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for calling in. Okay. All right. So we got two other callers, and we're done because I got to get ready for another video. 8018, calling you on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
I just want to say this. R. Kelly is a perverted pedophile. He is a pedophile. When you have that number, that many people coming forward that dealt with him, not just adults. You have people that were dealing with him when they were still children. 16 years old, you're still a child. You have so many people coming forward, and they're not done. This case, I've never seen a case like, you know what? John Gacy. John Gacy had so many victims. R. Kelly, he is a pervert. He's a pedophile. He's sick. The man is sick. And when people take up for him, I'm just going to say this. How would you feel if it was your child? How would you feel if you found out that one of your child was one of his victims? Sparkle risked her career. You notice that she doesn't have a career, because when she spoke out against him, look at what happened to her. Oh, she don't know what she's talking about, this and that. Look at her now. She can't get an album. She can't make an album. And as far as the mothers, the parents, when people say that their parents should be held responsible, I agree. But they have they're paying such a bigger price. Do you know the amount of children that don't speak to their parents now? Because, you let me go with him. You let me go with my uncle. You knew I told you something was going on. They have a bigger price to pay. Okay? I mean, the law, unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done. I don't think they're not doing anything to the parents. But they have a bigger price. They're paying a bigger price. And that's when you don't have a relationship with your children. That's the price right there. And I do believe that Charlamagne is guilty of it because she did not show up. He just pleaded to something lesser. All right. Bye, Wiley. See you on the next show.
Thank you so much for calling in. 4810, calling you on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, I was just wondering with Charlamagne and Jessica, my mind just really goes to I wonder does Charlamagne have any bigger dirt on somebody? Because I'm wondering what's taking it so long for him to be canceled. Why is this still, with the other people when they got their, allegations or whatever was going on, it was instantaneously. It was over with, no question. But we're still hearing him on the air. It's like, and from what I know, these allegations came out like 3 years ago. So I'm wondering, who we know. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. And when would that nail come out or that silver bullet and say, hey, we are really calling for the cancellation of Charlamagne? Still no press conference, still don't know nothing, really. So we should see about this.
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm wondering. It makes you wonder, like,
Yeah, like who he know or what's going on or who he got the bigger dirt on, because we still hearing him every morning, or those of us that listen, and I'm waiting to see is anything gonna be done or how they're gonna handle it. But unfortunately, I think this is something else that's going to be talked about and swept under the rug, for real.
All right, thank you so very much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Peace. Okay, we going to the next caller. 8283, calling you on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Leah Lee.
Okay, welcome.
I called you earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
And I gave you the reference to the YouTube. What you think?
Yes, you did. I watched it. I gave my opinion. I gave my opinion.
I'm just now coming in. Sorry. Just give me a quick rundown. I'm just coming in. Just coming in. Just a quick rundown. What you think?
Well, like I said, I was triggered. That emotional triggered with emotions, and that I do believe that she was victimized. That's pretty much what sums up. I do believe she was victimized, not only by Charlamagne, by those other guys, and those other guys need to be charged. I think we keep saying Charlamagne because we know of him, but it was other guys that got away scot free, with no lesser charge, no nothing. I don't even think they were charged for anything.
No, because Charlamagne want to be the man, and he said he's gonna, go down there and take it off for himself. That's what he said.
That's what he said. Thank you so very much for calling in, and thank you for giving me the video. Whoever gave it to me, thank you. Shout out to all the producers that gave it to. I also want to give a special shout out. Thank you, ma'am. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
bye.
Peace. All right, thank you. All right, I want to give a special shout out to I'm So Shirt LLC. They blessed me with these shirts, and I actually got a black one, and I had it for a couple of months. So I want to thank them for giving me these shirts. Make sure y'all go check them out. It's I'm So Shirt. I'm So Shirt LLC. You see, I pinned the comment. I want to say shout out to y'all. Thank you. Okay, is that it? That's all the callers? Okay, let me make sure I get all of it. Okay, 8283, calling you on it. Okay, that was the last call, I think. All right, I want to make sure. Thank you all so very much. Only thing that we need right now from you all is to subscribe to the channel and also like the video. It is free to do. I want to give a special shout out to that. We have been going live all day today, and we just been on a marathon of lives. This is pretty much what we're doing today. We pretty much been giving, I think this is hold on. 1, 2, this is the third video, and I think we got a fourth video that we're going to do because there's so much information, so many topics to talk about. And but today, y'all have been doing really good, leaving us comments. I just want to thank you. We just reached 3.5 million subscribers on our YouTube channel, and that could have not happened without you, and you. Some of y'all are taking time out of your day to watch our content, and we're just pushing it out on you all. If you all did not know, I'm on crutches. Everything I'm good, but I'm on some crutches. So we're in the process trying to find something easier and all that, but I said, hey, since I'm on crutches, let me just give some lives and come and do some more videos and some give you this great live. So I want to say thank you all so very much for that. Also, I want to give a special shout out to all the moderators in the house. Shout out to every single moderator in the house. I need to write down a list of the moderators so I can start giving them a shout out every video. I had a list and I misplaced the list, so I don't even want to name them because I don't want to miss nobody. But I want to say shout out to every single one of the moderators that are in the house. Thank you so very much for your support, for coming in here. I want to also thank you every producer for sending me stuff to talk about. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I want to thank you all so very much for that. So thank you to all the callers that called in. All right, you guys, we gotta come back for another video. You know, I gotta come back. So we're gonna take another recess, and we're gonna do it again. And while we wait, make sure you leave us a comment at the Wiley Show. Just comment below. Tell us how we did. Y'all are doing really good in comment on the videos. All right. Y'all have definitely been doing really good at doing that, okay? Y'all have been so good. When I was in, I'm like, wow, they finally leaving comments. That's good. And we finally reached over 100 likes, so we got to go live again, all right? I know y'all tired of me. I know y'all tired. I hope y'all not tired of me. Okay. Thank you all so very much. I want to say thank you. All right. We will see y'all soon. Peace.